Hello friends and welcome to this video on Authentic English, and today we are going to discuss the poem Dolphins, The Dolphins by Carol and Duffy. So first of all, before we begin with the video, I would request you to subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so, because I'm going to upload videos on almost all topics of English literature in the days to come. So if you are a literature student, you might benefit from those. So if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, you may do so now by hitting the subscribe button and also clicking the bell icon next to it. So let me begin with the discussion of this poem known as Dolphins by Carol and Duffy. Now, you must have watched cartoons, and or maybe you've yourself went, to a place where these exhibitions are held in which a dolphin is shown to the public. A dolphin plays with the balls and stuff like that. A dolphin is made to perform tricks. So one of the ideas that I would like to discuss before I begin with this poem is that animals have always been used and exploited by human beings for their benefit, whether it's for their entertainment, for any use, or stuff like that. Because chickens are tasty, we eat them, and because these buffaloes and oxes, they can give us leather, so we use them for leather. So animals have always been exploited and used by man for a variety of purposes, for all sorts of purposes, ranging from consumption to entertainment. And you must have seen these shows where dolphins are made to perform tricks and stuff like that. So you might think that this is the least cruel form of animal torture, because the dolphins are alive, they are well taken care of, and they are actually looked after. All they have to do is just perform the tricks. So in this poem, Carol and Duffy discusses similar ideas about this entire poem is about a dolphin. The dolphin was used to be in the sea. A dolphin naturally lives in the ocean or the sea. Now the dolphin was taken out from the sea just for the sake of bringing it into an aquarium where it can be used to give entertainment to the public. Okay, for the sake of entertainment, a dolphin is taken out of its natural home, that is the sea, to a small aquarium, and then it is manipulated to obey instructions and perform tricks, so that the public that comes to watch it gets delighted. So this is basically this poem all about. In this poem, a dolphin speaks about being confined in an aquarium with another dolphin after its life in an ocean. So what happens in the poem is that there is a dolphin who is confined in an aquarium. The dolphin speaks about his feelings, that how he feels after being taken into an aquarium. It once used to live in the great sea, which was very grand, where the dolphin could go wherever he wanted to go to. But now, when he is confined in an aquarium, which is such a small space, he feels suffocated and very uncomfortable. And this entire poem is a monologue spoken by the dolphin himself. In this monologue, or in this poem, the dolphin speaks about how he feels in the aquarium. And he says that life in the aquarium is extremely terrible, and he does not want to live in the aquarium at all. He thinks that he will die in the aquarium. So, through this poem, the main idea that comes out is the idea of animal torture, of how animals feel when we confine them or cage them. When you cage a bird, the bird does not feel good. And when you cage a dolphin in an aquarium, the dolphin does not feel good at all. So, just because humans are intelligent, they've always exploited animals, and this poem speaks about it. So, a dolphin speaks about being confined in an aquarium after its life in an ocean. So, it used to live in the ocean, and now it's been confined to an aquarium. Now, this thing called another dolphin. Now, the another dolphin exists with him or not is another vague question, because the poem is very vague, very unclear. This poem is actually ambiguous, and maybe this ambiguity is purposeful. We can decipher a lot of the poem, but it's hard, because first of all, it's given from the dolphin's point of view. The dolphin speaking about all sorts of things, so we never know what the other meaning of the same sentence could be. So it's not clear whether the other dolphin was with him in that aquarium or not, or maybe the other dolphin or the other thing that he talks about is just his reflection. But as many books, and as I've read in many books, and as many interpreters of the poem believe that there is another dolphin present with him, so we can go with this view. So the main idea of the poem is how terrible the dolphin feels in the aquarium after its life in the ocean. The dolphin is expected to perform tricks in the aquarium for entertainment and is controlled by his master. So there is a man who controls the dolphin. Okay, just like in a circus, there is a man who controls all the animals. So in this circus also, there is a man who controls the dolphin. Okay, he makes him jump through hoops and make the dolphin performs all sorts of tricks. The dolphin doesn't feel good in this man-made environment and can feel humans dominating him. So dolphin is considered to be a very good friend of man, but here the dolphin feels that humans are dominating him because the environment is man-made. He is first of all restricted. There is no freedom allowed to the dolphin. The dolphin is not allowed to go to the sea. If he does that, probably he will be caught again. Okay, now I'm using the word he for the dolphins because they are also creatures. I don't like using the word it for animals. The poem is a monologue by the dolphin himself. Okay, so this entire poem is a monologue by the dolphin himself. The entire poem is from the point of view of the dolphins, not from the point of view of of a human. So this is what Carol Ann Duffy does in this poem. This is the best thing about this poem, that this poem is from the point of view of the animals. A fellow human might think that this dolphin is well looked after, he is given proper food, so there is no animal cruelty happening. But nobody understands that the dolphin actually feels caged. The dolphin actually feels confined and restricted. He wants freedom. The dolphin is just like us. If you put us in a jail, we don't want to be there. So this is what is happening in the poem. So dolphins are known to be man's friends, and here ironically man subdues and captures the dolphins. So the man is actually dominating him. He is not being friendly towards the dolphins. This poem by Duffy gives voice to this creature. So the dolphin is given the voice, and the intelligent dolphin. The poem has its share of ambiguities and overall leaves us to ponder over how we humans have always exploited animals. So the central theme of the poem is about how humans have always been exploiting animals, and even after reading this poem, nothing is going to happen. Humans are still going to exploit the animals. So another slide for introduction. In this poem, the readers are presented with a narration by the dolphin himself. I already told you that, to take the readers into their world. So the readers are taken into the world of the dolphins. The poem contrasts the freedom the dolphins enjoyed in the sea to their present life devoid of fun and freedom. So this is extremely important. The dolphin compares the two lives, the life it had in the ocean and the life it is now having in the aquarium. The life in the ocean was full of fun and pleasure, but now life in the aquarium is exactly opposite. It's very boring. There is no freedom, there is no fun. The pool is shallow and they cannot freely move about. So this pool is not very big. They don't have much space to move about. They are controlled by humans, and thus a tone of gloom and confinement can be felt throughout. So there is a tone of gloom, a tone of unhappiness and confinement that can be felt all throughout the poem. Freedom is necessary for everyone to be happy. Now another central idea that emerges out from this poem is the idea of freedom. Now freedom is something that is extremely important for anyone, whether it's a human or an animal or any living thing. Everybody wants freedom. The dolphin seeks sympathy for its companion too, who is always there for him. So if the companion actually exists, the dolphin wants sympathy for him too. It shows that even animals feel for their friends. So it gives voice to all the feelings of the animals, that even animals share feelings just like humans. So it's very unfair to treat them that way. The joy in their lives comes from the recollection of the time spent in the sea. Now any joy that these dolphins enjoy is because of the memories of the time they've spent in the sea. Man's selfishness is highlighted. Okay, man is extremely selfish, and the poet criticizes such behavior by humans and gives voice to the dolphins to express how they feel. So this is what is happening in the poem. Now let's begin with the stanza-wise explanation for this poem. World is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. We are in our element, but we are not free. Outside this world, you cannot breathe for long. The other has my shape. The other's movements forms my thoughts and also mine. There is a man and there are hoops. There is a constant flowing guilt. So if you read it, in the first glance, this paragraph seems very ambiguous, very vague. You cannot understand what is happening. So this entire poem, as I say, is ambiguous and vague. So world is what you swim in or dance. It is simple. Dolphin says that what is world? Now world is a place where you can swim freely or dance freely. It is simple. So define their concept of world where they can be free to dance and swim and have lots of fun. So What does the world mean for dolphins? World for the dolphins is a place where they can be free, where they have freedom, where they have freedom to dance, where they have freedom to swim, and where they have freedom to have lots of fun. So the poem begins by defining this concept of world, like, and the entire idea of freedom is highlighted in a single line, that world is a place where the dolphins can enjoy freedom. Okay, we are in our element, but we are not free. Now the element refers to the water. Okay, we are in the water, but we are not free. So the dolphins have to live in the water. Fishes live in water. It is their natural home. So they are in their element. Okay, so they are in water, but they are not free. This is what they say, that they are in water but not now free, because they are now they are trapped in the boundaries of an aquarium, which is artificial, small, and does not allow them any freedom. Outside this world you cannot breathe for long. Outside the water, you cannot breathe for long. Also, it can mean that outside the aquarium they cannot go outside the aquarium. They are not allowed to go, perhaps, or perhaps there is no escape from this aquarium. If they escape, they are going to escape to the land. So even if they want, they cannot escape this aquarium. They are trapped in it, because you can think of like this, that the aquarium must be surrounded by a piece of land, and if they try to escape, they are only going to be able to move to the land where they cannot live. So outside this world you cannot breathe for long. So outside the water, so it can apply in two things, that naturally they are going to die if they are not in water, and since the aquarium is very small and a very confined place, if they even try to move out the aquarium, they are going to die, because the aquarium is very far away from the sea, very far away from their natural home. Okay, so this is what is implied in these lines. Who does other point to? Now the other has my shape. Now this is a very important question. Now, who does this other point to? The other has my shape. Perhaps the dolphin's tormentor, who knows how to make the dolphin's turn to make it look entertaining, or the other dolphin in the aquarium. So there can be another two explanations to this other. The other has my shape. Perhaps the dolphin's tormentor, who knows how to make the dolphin's turn to make it look entertaining. It can refer to the tormentor or the controller, who controls the dolphins, like which shape it has to take. Or more possibly, it can refer to another dolphin in the aquarium. Okay, the other's movements forms my thoughts. So it's also vague. Only in the later stanzas of the poem we can fully understand that this might be actually a reference to the other dolphin only. The other's movements forms my thoughts. If you take it for the tormentor, okay, it's like the controller is controlling the dolphins. Okay, the dolphin has to do what the controller asks. And if you take the word other for other dolphin, the other's movements forms my thought can then mean the other dolphin is as distressed as him. They both share similar thoughts. Okay, the other dolphin is also as depressed as him, and also mine. There is a man and there are hoops. Now we know that the dolphin is talking about the man now. So it can only be possible that this word other points to the other dolphin that is there in the aquarium with him. Or there can be another explanation as well, that this other dolphin is actually the reflection of the dolphin that he sees in the water. But I don't like this explanation at all, and I believe that it may be referred to the other dolphin in the aquarium only. Okay, there is a man and there are hoops. Now the dolphin for the first time talks about the man who controls him, that there is a man and there are hoops. Now there are hoops through which the man makes the dolphins jump through and performs all sorts of tricks. Okay, they then refer to the man who controls them, who commands them to perform stunts like jumping through a hoop. The constant flowing guilt is an ambiguous line. Okay, so there is a man and there are hoops. Now this line, you can see that there is a tone of disappointment in this line. It only shows that how man is controlling the dolphins. Now the last line of the stanza, there is a constant flowing guilt. The constant flowing guilt is an ambiguous line. It's another vague line. Perhaps the dolphins feel guilty of themselves. So there can be a lot of interpretations for this line. Maybe the dolphins are feeling guilty of themselves, that why they were not careful in the sea. Why did they got caught by the hunters in the first place? They may fail to live up to the master's expectations, or guilty of being trapped in this aquarium. They might also, fail to they may also be, guilty because they are not able to live up to the expectations of their master, because they are not happy in that aquarium, or guilty of being trapped in the aquarium, or they are sad because they were caught in the first place. Why were not they careful in the sea? Why did they allow the catchers who brought them to the aquarium catch them in the first place? Okay. Or can the controller feel guilty too? There are some critics who might believe that the controller may feel guilty too, but I do not think that this is the case. Had this been the case, the controller would not have been controlling the Dolphins. So I don't think the controller feels guilty. But since many people, some of the explanations might refer to the controller feeling guilty as well, so we can just write it in the answer as a point that we know that this also can be true. But I believe that the Dolphins are only feeling guilty of themselves, not the narrator. No, I mean the man who's controlling them. We have found no truth in these waters, no explanations tremble on our flesh. We were blessed and now we are not blessed. After traveling some space for days, we began to translate. It was the same space, it is the same space always, and above it is the man. So another possible way out, that the word other in the last stanza referred to the other dolphin in the ocean, because the man is only referred to by the word man. So the controller is always referred to by the word man. So the other, it is surely possible that referred to the other dolphin in the aquarium. So we have found no truth in these waters. Now what does this line mean? The water of the aquarium offers no truth, it is just artificial. Okay, the aquarium is an artificial place. The water is artificial. It is just not like the sea where there are all sorts of animals. There is a lot of space, and it's the natural habitat of these aquatic animals. But the water in the aquarium is not truthful. It is artificially created environment. No explanations tremble on our flesh. The dolphins cannot understand why they are confined there and what sort of environment it is, different from the sea. Okay, so they are not able to decipher what kind of a place that is. Okay, they are never able to understand why they are being confined there and what sort of an environment the environment of that aquarium is. We were blessed and now we are not blessed. Okay, so when they were in the sea, they considered themselves as blessed, but now when they are in the aquarium, they feel that they are definitely not blessed. They feel hopeless, despondent and sad. They feel sad in the waters, feeling their life is no longer blessed as it was in the ocean. After traveling such space for days, we began to translate. They began to come to terms with their surroundings after staying in the pool for days. Now, since they've stayed in the pool in this aquarium or in this pool for such a long time, they began to translate. That is, they began to kind of adjust to their surroundings. So they say that it was the same space. It is the same space always, and above it is the man. They translate, that is, adjust themselves to the new surroundings. However, there is a constant nostalgia for the sea. Okay, so they always miss the sea because this pool is a very monotonous place. This pool is boring. It was the same space. It is the same space always. So it's always been the same thing. Okay, there are no changes in the pool. It's like the pool is right now as it was in the past. So the pool is very, very boring place. There is no change there. It's very monotonous. In the sea, we have lots of creatures. There is a lot of movement and lots of changes occurring in the sea. But here in this aquarium, it's a very monotonous place, very boring. So the dolphins do not enjoy it, and above it is the man, and above the pool is the man who is controlling them. So it's always the same thing. Okay, so that is the reason why the dolphins feel caged. The dolphins feel hopeless and despondent. So this paragraph again emphasizes how badly the dolphins feel inside this artificial pool that is created by humans. Okay, so let's move on to paragraph number 3. And now we are no longer blessed, for the world will not deepen to dream in. The other knows, and out of love reflects me for myself. We see our silver skin flash by like memory of somewhere else. There is a colored ball we have to balance till the man has disappeared. The dolphins discuss that each of them tries to lessen the other's suffering. So this stanza begins, and now we are no longer blessed. Again, they again and again say the same thing, that they are no longer blessed. They are no longer happy, for the world will not deepen to dream in. Okay, so the pool is extremely shallow. It's not deep like the sea. So they cannot dream in this artificial aquarium. They have no hopes left in this artificial aquarium. Had they been in the sea, they would have hopes, they would have had their dreams, they would have had a happy life. Okay, but in the shallow pool, which is not deep like the sea, they cannot even dream. The other knows, and out of love reflects me for myself. Okay, now there is a mention of the other creature again. Now this other creature, as I told you before, might be the other dolphin, or perhaps, as some critics say, the reflection of the dolphin himself. So the other knows, and out of love reflects me for myself. So if I am sad, the other creature is also sad because of my sadness. Okay, so the two dolphins in the aquarium, if there are two dolphins, are both of them are sad because they are confined and they have no freedom. We see our silver skin flash by like memory of somewhere else. Okay, reflections of their silver skin in the water reminds them of their life in the sea, which was happy. When they see the reflections in the water, which is silver in color, okay, a thought strikes their brain on seeing the reflection. They begin to miss the sea where their life was happy. So this is what their reflection, okay, the reflection causes them to remember their days spent in the ocean. Of somewhere else refers to the ocean. We see our silver skin flash by like memory of somewhere else. So just like the reflection is seen for a moment, for a moment that memory comes into the brain, the memory of the ocean. There is a colored ball we have to balance till the man has disappeared. So you can see how simply and baby like, you can see the narration is so like childlike, so innocent. These dolphins are so innocent. They have to constantly balance a ball on themselves till the man who controls them goes away. So they are always controlled by that man, so they have to constantly balance a ball on themselves till the man who controls them goes away. So why would they be happy? They are confined, restricted, and nothing is good for them. So they are definitely not happy in this environment. The moon has disappeared. We circle well-worn grooves of water on a single note. Music of loss forever from the other's heart, which turns my own to stone. There is a plastic toy. There is no hope. We sing to the limits of this pool until the whistle blows. There is a man and a mind knows we will die here. Okay, so this paragraph is the most hopeless of all paragraphs. In the end, there is a mention of death here. The moon has disappeared. The dolphins feel hopeless and perhaps cannot see the moon in the sky in their confined world. In the aquarium, they perhaps cannot see the moon. In the sea, they were able to see the moon, but now they cannot. We circle well-worn grooves of water on a single note. Okay? They swim in the water again and again, that the water has developed grooves and they swim monotonously. Okay, so they swim on the same path in the water again and again. The water has developed, trails. So it shows that the pool is such a small space. They can only circle it again and again, leaving trails. Okay, so the pool is extremely boring, very small, and there is very less water in it. We circle well-worn grooves of water on a single note. So there is always a single note. Okay, always a monotony. Music of loss forever from the other's heart, which turns my own to stone. The other's sense of disappointment makes the dolphin unhappy and his heart to stone. Now when he sees that the other dolphin is also unhappy, okay, he does not feel good himself. So both the dolphins mutually understand each other's pains. Okay, so there is a feeling of friendship here. Both the dolphins understand the feeling of disappointment that the other has, and that is why both are sad, because of seeing that the other dolphin is sad. Okay, now again the dolphin mentions of the man-made things that he has to do. There is a plastic toy, so there is no hope. So they have to play with a plastic toy, they have to do tricks with it, and there is no hope. Okay, what can this hope refer to? The hope of escaping, the hope of having a life like the dolphins might have wanted to have. So there is no hope. We sing to the limits of this pool until the whistle blows. Okay, the Dave dive into the pool and return when the whistle stops. Okay, so whatever deep the pool is, they go into it and they have to return as soon as the whistle blows. Okay, another sense of controlling by the man, that the man is always controlling them. They have to return to the surface as soon as the whistle blows. They have to obey the commands, and there is no hope in this pool. There is a man and our mind knows we will die here. Again they talk about the man and then they talk about that. that say that there is a man who is always controlling them, and the dolphins are feeling, feeling very bad because of that. They are feeling suffocated because of this constant tormenting, this constant, following of commands. A man controls them, and they very hopelessly believe they will spend all of their lives in confinement. Okay, they're going to spend all of their lives in this aquarium or this artificial pool, and they are going to die there. So this is the poem in which, a dolphin talks about his sad, experience in an artificial pool after his life in the ocean. So this is the poem. I hope you've understood it well. What the central idea of the poem is all about, that freedom is dear to every creature, that animals should not be confined like that. Now there are 7 to 8 points that I've made for you, like points to note. Cruelty towards animal for human profit. This is what is highlighted in this poem. Giving voice to animals to show that they have feelings too, just like us. Okay, the entire poem is narrated by the dolphin, and this shows that they have feelings just like humans have. Freedom is dear to everyone, and no one is happy without it. Okay, no one can be happy without freedom. Even the dolphins cling to each other in difficult times, that is, company makes trouble seem bearable. Okay, it also talks about companionship, that if you have somebody who is in the same situation, okay, your trouble can become bearable. So these are some of the central ideas that this poem evokes. Okay, the poem ends on a note of suffering and death and wants to arise sympathy in our hearts. Okay, the purpose of the poem is to arise sympathy in our hearts towards animals. Also resonates the ideas of people who feel trapped in their lives. Also, this poem can be about people who feel trapped in their lives, just like the dolphins. Also note that any animal, this poem is just not about dolphins, it's about any animal, and about total animal cruelty. When we cage the birds do not feel happy. When we cage any animal, the animal does not feel happy. So this poem does not only talk about dolphins, it also talks about, the sufferings of all the animals that are caged and that are exploited. And look at point number 6, also resonates the idea of people who feel trapped in their lives, just like the dolphins. So this poem can also reflect the ideas of person who feel trapped in their lives. So humans, when trapped, can have so similar ideas, just like the dolphins have, is what is tried to be shown in the poem, that humans and animals are similar on so many aspects. No definite rhyme scheme and ambiguities. So this is a feature of the poem. There is no definite rhyme scheme. It's like broken sentences and ambiguities, double meaning sentences. In the same small limits of the aquarium, the dolphin's freedom is limited. Very limited freedom is available to the dolphin in the small limits of the aquarium. Who the other refers to is not clear. The word other is definitely not clear. Another dolphin, the man, or its own reflection. As I told you, but as many people and many critics believe, it may refer only to the other dolphin. So this was the poem Dolphins by Carol and Duffy. Again, I would remind you, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel now. And if you like this video, please hit the like button below. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section below. And thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye and take care.